Abu Musa Island, Strait of Hormuz, 4:18 a.m. Darkness. Silence. 8 U.S. Marines, 1 reconnaissance mission, gathering intelligence on Iranian military positions. Then suddenly, Iranian Revolutionary Guard boats appeared, 12 of them heavily armed, surrounding the island. Their orders: capture the American Marines, dead or alive. Tehran's calculation was simple: Marines trapped on an island, outnumbered, nowhere to run. But they didn't know 3 things. First, these weren't ordinary Marines. They were Force Recon, elite special operations. Second, the USS Bataan, an amphibious assault ship carrying 2,000 Marines, was 30 miles away. Third, America doesn't abandon its Marines. What happened in the next 43 minutes became the most intense Marine rescue operation since Benghazi. This is that story. Abu Musa Island. A tiny speck of land in the Strait of Hormuz, barely 2 square miles, but strategically vital. Iran controls it, claims it, militarizes it. The island sits right in the middle of the shipping lanes. 20% of global oil passes within miles of its shores. For months, U.S. intelligence tracked Iranian military buildup, missile batteries, radar systems, fast attack boats. Iran was turning Abu Musa into a fortress, a choke point weapon, aimed at global commerce. So at midnight, on December 8th, 8 Force Reconnaissance Marines inserted onto the island. Mission: photograph Iranian positions, gathering intelligence, extract before dawn. Silent insertion, no combat expected, in and out in 4 hours. They landed at 12:45 a.m., radio silence protocol, night vision moving ghost-like through Iranian territory. By 3:30 a.m. they'd completed their mission, photographed everything, marked coordinates, confirmed missile positions. Extraction scheduled for 4:30 a.m. Helicopter pickup. Simple. But at 4:18 a.m., everything went wrong. An Iranian patrol spotted them. 12 Revolutionary Guard boats launched from the island's harbor. The Marines were on the beach waiting for extraction. Exposed. Visible. Contact. Multiple hostiles inbound. 12 boats. Request immediate support. Any assets available. The response came in seconds. Not from the Bataan. From someone else. Devil Dogs, this is Viper Flight. 2 F-35s 30 seconds out. Get down and stay down. 4:19 a.m. 2 F-35 Lightning stealth fighters screamed over Abu Musa Island at 500 knots, flying low, aggressive. The Iranian boats immediately scattered. Revolutionary Guard commanders shouting orders, confusion, panic. But the jets didn't fire. They didn't need to. Their presence alone changed everything. Iranian vessels, this is U.S. Marine Corps aircraft. You are within weapons engagement range. Recommend you reverse course immediately. The boats slowed, turned, but didn't retreat, because they knew something the Marines didn't. Reinforcements were coming. At 4:21 a.m., 3 more Iranian boats launched, then 6 more, then 12. Within minutes, 33 Iranian Revolutionary Guard boats surrounded the island. This wasn't a patrol anymore. This was an assault force. Tehran had given the order: capture those Marines. But America was moving too. USS Bataan, 28 miles away, went to full combat alert. 2,000 Marines, 50 helicopters, 20 amphibious assault vehicles. And they all started moving toward Abu Musa Island. At 4:23 a.m., 4 AH-1 Viper attack helicopters lifted off from the Bataan, armed with Hellfire missiles, rockets, and 20mm cannons. At 4:25 a.m., 2 V-22 Osprey tiltrotor aircraft followed, carrying 40 Marines ready for combat extraction. At 4:27 a.m., the first Vipers arrived over Abu Musa. The 8 Marines on the beach watched as 4 American attack helicopters positioned themselves between them and the Iranian boats. Viper Flight to Devil Dogs, we've got you covered. Extract inbound. 2 minutes. But the Iranians weren't backing down. At 4:29 a.m., an Iranian boat commander made a fatal decision. He ordered his vessels to beach on the island. Iranian Revolutionary Guards jumping into shallow water, rifles raised, moving toward the Marines. 60 Iranian troops on foot, advancing 300 meters away. Captain Webb's radio crackled. Devil Dogs, you are cleared hot. Defend yourselves. The 8 Recon Marines took defensive positions, rifles aimed, waiting. 200 meters. 150 meters. At 100 meters, the Iranian commander shouted in English, "Surrender. Last warning."
Captain Webb's response was transmitted on open frequency, so everyone could hear. Iranian boats, American helicopters, the baton. Everyone. Marines, don't surrender. Come get us. For 5 seconds, nobody moved. Iranian troops, frozen. American Marines, ready. Then the sound of rotor blades, massive, overwhelming. 2 V-22 Ospreys descended onto the beach, ramps dropping, 40 Marines pouring out, full combat gear, establishing perimeter. The 8 Recon Marines sprinted to the aircraft, covered by their brothers. Iranian troops watched, rifles raised, but they didn't fire, because 4 Viper attack helicopters were circling overhead, missiles locked, waiting for any hostile act. At 4:31 a.m., both Ospreys lifted off. Marines extracted. Mission complete. The entire rescue, 13 minutes from first contact to wheels up. 0 casualties, 0 shots fired. But the message was unmistakable. Within hours, Iran claimed victory. State media. Revolutionary Guards successfully expelled American infiltrators from Iranian territory. They showed footage of their boats, their troops, claiming they drove away the Marines. But the world saw different footage. The Pentagon released video from the F-35s showing Iranian boats scattering, showing the rescue, showing Marines extracted under the noses of 60 Iranian troops who could do nothing but watch. Global media reaction was brutal for Iran. Iran unable to capture 8 U.S. Marines despite overwhelming numbers. Marines extracted while Iranian forces watched helplessly. Tehran's humiliation. 60 troops versus 8 Marines. Marines win. But the real damage was strategic. For years, Iran has claimed control of the Strait of Hormuz, threatened to close it, harassed shipping, seized tankers. Abu Musa Island was their symbol of dominance. Iranian-controlled territory, militarized, supposedly impenetrable. And the U.S. just inserted Marines, conducted reconnaissance, and extracted them. All while Iranian forces watched. The message to Tehran: your island isn't secure. Your strait isn't closed. Your military can't stop us. Within days, the implications became clear. UAE announced joint military exercises with U.S. Marines, planning amphibious operations, practicing island assaults. Even Qatar, usually careful about antagonizing Iran, increased cooperation with U.S. Central Command. Iran's neighbors saw what happened. If America can extract 8 Iranian Marines surrounded by 60 Iranian troops, Iran's military isn't as powerful as Tehran claims. But the most significant response came from inside Iran. Intelligence sources reported heated arguments within Revolutionary Guard Command. Junior officers questioning, why didn't we capture them? We outnumbered them 8-1. Senior commanders responding, because 4 American attack helicopters and 2 F-35s would have annihilated us. That's the truth Iran doesn't want to admit. They could have attacked, could have captured those Marines, but the cost would have been catastrophic. 33 boats destroyed, 60 troops killed. And for what? 8 Marines, who'd be rescued anyway by the 2,000 more coming behind them. Iran blinked again. So why does Abu Musa Island matter? Because it reveals the fundamental flaw in Iran's strategy. For decades, Tehran has relied on asymmetric warfare. Fast boats, swarming tactics, harassment, seizures. It works against commercial shipping. Tankers can't fight back. Crews surrender rather than risk death. But against U.S. military forces, it's suicide. Those 8 Marines weren't helpless sailors on a tanker. They were Force Recon elite warriors, each one worth 10 regular infantry. And they weren't alone, never alone. The F-35s that arrived in 30 seconds, they'd been monitoring the mission the whole time, invisible, watching, ready. The attack helicopters on standby alert, engines warm, pilots strapped in. The Ospreys with 40 Marines pre-positioned, rehearsed, trained specifically for this scenario. This is what Iran faces every time they confront U.S. forces. Not just the troops they see, but the invisible network behind them. Satellites, drones, aircraft, ships, Marines. An entire military machine that responds in minutes to protect every single American service member. Iran doesn't have this. Revolutionary Guards operate independently. No integrated command, no rapid response. Those 60 troops on Abu Musa, they watched 8 Marines escape because they had no air support, no backup, no plan. This is why Iran seizes tankers, but avoids U.S. warships. Why they harass commercial vessels, but retreat when Navy destroyers appear. They can't win a direct confrontation, so they avoid them. But Abu Musa proved something else. America can strike anywhere, even inside Iranian-controlled territory. If Marines can insert onto Abu Musa, gather intelligence, and extract under Iranian noses, what else can American special forces do? Attack Iranian nuclear sites? Already happened. Destroy Iranian missile facilities? Possible. Rescue hostages from Tehran? The Iranians are now asking that question. This is psychological warfare. Iran wanted to demonstrate control of the strait. Instead, they demonstrated impotence, and that's more damaging than any military defeat. 4:18 a.m. Abu Musa Island. 8 Marines surrounded by 60 Iranian troops. 4:31 a.m. 13 minutes later, 8 Marines extracted. 0 casualties, 0 shots fired.